LGBTQ families mull leaving Florida in wake of new culture laws. Okay, new culture laws. Let's see what this story is all about, which, by the way, we talked about this briefly a few months ago. Robbie Price and his husband, Jordan Lechard, are considering leaving their home in Florida due to what they say is a lack of tolerance and policies that marginalize the LGBTQ community. The couple, who have been together for 12 years and have a 6-year-old son, Kellen, say that the discrimination and hate they have experienced in recent years has become in your face. In spring of 2022, a Florida legislator enacted 2 laws. The Individual Freedom Act, more commonly known as the Stop Wrongs Against Our Kids and Employees, WOKE Act, and the Parents' Right in Education, and dubbed by critics as a Don't Say Gay bill that regulates how race, sexual orientation, and gender identity can be discussed in schools. For me, when I see something like, I'm going to show you guys a video clip right now that you're going to be blown away by this man. Seriously, you're going to be blown away by this. Rob, I'm going to text it to you in a second. For me, here's how this works. You know how people were saying, Roe v. Wade, abortion this, abortion that. I don't feel safe being gay here, or I want entitlements. Look, if you want a lot of entitlements right now, the city of San Francisco is thinking about giving a $5 million reparation to black people in their city. Did you see the story or no? Okay.
Yeah.
Did you hear about this?
San Francisco.
San Francisco wants to give $5 million of reparation to black people that live in that city. Guess what that's going to do? If I'm black and I'm wanting the $5 million, maybe I'll consider, if you can pull up that article, this is CNN. San Francisco Reparations Committee proposes a $5 million payment to each black resident. Think about that. How quickly would you want to go be a black resident in San Francisco? Cool. That is the fastest way to attract a lot of black residents, okay? If that's what you're proposing. If that's important to you, go to San Francisco. If for you want to be part of the LGBTQ community and you want to feel free to do whatever you want to do, Florida's not the state right now. It may change. Yeah. It's not right now. Consider going to Austin. Consider going to California. Consider going to different markets. By the way, I lived in Dallas. Dallas had a very big gay community. Tom, I don't know if you remember this or not. Dallas's gay community was massive. Yep. When you would go to, Uptown, not Uptown, what was it? Not Highland Park, the other one, something Park. It was
University Park. It was
University Park.
Just 6 blocks east of the American Arena.
Yeah. Hey, if you want abortions, right? Okay, these following states, go to those states. If you don't want to pay high taxes, you want to pay low taxes. There's 5 or 6 states, Tennessee, Texas, Florida. You got a few states you can go to. They can benefit from taxes. I want a lot of entitlement and welfare and stuff like that. Go to California. Go to New York. Your policies are going to attract the types of people you want. Mm-hmm. So I am not surprised. And I don't blame these folks for wanting to leave a state like Florida. Totally get it. I suggest this family choose a state that's going to be a little bit more accommodating to their policies because it's normal. Some places are not welcoming of certain people. I didn't feel welcome to be in California and a business owner. I can't sit there and bitch and whine about it. I moved to Texas, and I was very happy. Yep. And from Texas, I wanted lifestyle. I moved to Florida. I'm very happy. It could change 10 years from now based on a different governor. It could change 20 years from now. Tom, what are your thoughts when you read a story like this?
My thoughts don't go to this particular family. My thoughts go to, I get so tired of headlines that every time someone's upset, they're leaving and going somewhere else. If this election goes the wrong way, I'm moving to Canada. If this tax thing goes the wrong way, I'm moving to Canada. And you'll notice that Canada's population really hasn't gone berserk. So there's a lot of celebrities and people on the left that have not gone to Canada. So I think this I'm mad, I'm leaving stuff, I think is... they may have real reasons behind it, but I get tired of the headline like that. It says, you say, America is the greatest country in the world, and there are communities all over the place that you may feel more comfortable in this community and that community, and go find your comfort. And I just get tired of the I'm mad, I'm leaving angle, Pat. What you said about find a community that embraces you, that for who you are, what you want to do, where you want to go, or things you're working on right now, go there.
But by the way, do you guys have any unique thoughts on this? If not, I want to show this video to you. Go ahead.
I'll give you one thing. By the way, what percentage of people in America are gay?
Well, it's increased. It used to be less than 1%. It's at 5%.
Right. But if you, correct. By the way, if there's a recent poll, This is by Gallup. They asked Americans what percentage you think are LGBTQ. They said 25%, meaning it's not 25%, it's 5%. So people get sensationalized. We had Nikki Fried on the podcast. We were just talking about this last night, ironically, who was running for governor against Charlie Crist and the Democratic Party. And she was saying here on the podcast, when Jedediah and her kind of got into it, she goes, you understand how many people I talk to that aren't comfortable here in Florida and they want to leave and they don't like the fact that what's going on here in DeSantis and the Don't Say Gay bill and people are moving out of Florida in drove. I said, what? I go, I don't know where you're getting these numbers or who you're speaking to, but everything I'm seeing, hearing, feeling is people are flocking to Florida like crazy. But what you're trying to twist right now is the fact that people are leaving Florida because of a Don't Say Gay bill, and you're bringing up this story with Robbie Price and his husband Jordan Letcher. You're making this up. This isn't a real thing.
You know what
People are coming to Florida. Stop it with the nonsense. Nobody believes you.
No, yeah, go ahead.
That's it.
Yeah, but here's my thing though. I don't know what you guys all read from that. It's coming down to these two, this gay male couple who have a kid. This all comes down to me. It's obsession with the kids. Okay, this is what it is. Nobody cares if you're gay or do whatever the hell you do. These acts to stop the woke, both of these acts that we put in is just
wait
leaving.
till you watch this video.
Leave, by the way, you're a gay couple, you have a 6-year-old kid, you teach whatever thing about gays, that kid's gonna know. You wanna leave here because why? The governor here is telling people, hey, listen, kids shouldn't be sexualized. They shouldn't know about this shit till they get older. If you want to leave because we're trying to protect kids, what's this obsession with kids? And no, we want to teach them and leave the fucking kids alone, bro.
Watch this video. Bro, just watch it. It's the
damn.
perfect transition into this video. Watch this video.
Good evening. Every teacher that has a pride flag in their classroom should be fired and arrested. The gay flag is a sexual flag. It represents nothing other than sexual things. Gay, lesbian, bisexual, transgender, and questioning. What business is it of anyone on this board of what children would like to do with other children? It is none of your business. It is between them and their parents. But however, you guys want to illegally survey your students. My name is Frank Rodriguez. I'm the Executive Director of Operations for Gays Against Groomers. I'm a 31-year-old gay man pushing back against the agenda that's happening within our classrooms. Keeping parents away from this discussion is absolutely severing the relationship between a child and their parent. My community is not discriminated against anymore. Shockingly enough, we succeeded. Now you're sending out surveys that's asking students what their gender is, what their pronouns are, and whether or not you should be telling their parents. Could you imagine if my son or one of yours went to school and said, hey, I'm gay, and you never knew? All of you up here are pretty intelligent. You have doctorate degrees, you're educated, and you lead this district. But yet, you turn a blind eye with the sexual things that happen in your classroom.
Watch this.
I refuse to believe that any of you think that that's appropriate. Because if you think that that is appropriate, you would be a predator. There's images that are going to be displayed today for you to see of a child sucking another child off. And that's in your classrooms.
What?
I shake because it makes me uncomfortable to even utter those words to you.
This is a gay man.
This is nothing about inclusion. It is nothing about respect to my community. I say with you with 100% truth, according to the Center of Disease Control, that the reason my community faces such issues in this world has absolutely nothing to do with the straight people on this planet. Wow. Has everything to do with the drugs that we digest. Has everything to do with our access to health care. The number one reason my community has so many mental health issues is because they don't have access to health care. And that's directly from the CDC. It is not slurs, it's not gay bashing. We don't have access to therapy. If you really want to help the LGBTQ community to feel really accepted in this world, embrace that people have mental health issues and they should seek help. Having a classroom without the American flag in it is a disgrace to this country. If this country wasn't here, millions of people around the world would perish. And that flag, this flag, should be held high by every single student.
Dude,
That's
oh my
powerful.
God.
Holy shit.
Oh, do you not?
That was fantastic.
31-year-old gay man
guy
screaming at the top of his lungs, "America first!"
Yep.
Enough with the woke agenda.
Coming from a
that was a perfect
fact-based think tank with statistics and things backing up his points.
Dude, like eloquent, like smart, saying it right, and then that twist of like, I'm a gay guy. Like,
And
what
the
the hell
moral
are you guys
authority.
doing? They're sucking each other off. Like, he felt like he was, you know, uncomfortable that was for him to say.
course.
And he's a gay guy.
And you
Leave
can't
the
say
kids
you're
alone.
anti-gay. You're anti. It's
No,
like I'm gay.
Adam, I love
I
those
just left
arguments.
my boyfriend's house.
Going back to Adam, leave the kids alone. It's none
Yeah.
of your goddamn business.
Yeah.
It's the parents' responsibility, bro. And if a gay couple wants to leave because the school is not, guess what? You teach your own kid whatever the hell you want. Leave the ones at school. If you want to leave, bro, bye.
But
You're
that's
gonna
what
free
you
up
need
traffic.
at the end of the day is people calling out their own side.
I
whether
love
it's
that.
in politics, whether it's in social issues, it's when you're calling out your own side and say, guys, enough.
Yeah.
What did he say specifically? He's like, we won. We
won.
figured it out.
Yeah.
It's done.
Yeah.
Now there's this complete overcorrection and this indoctrination of kids.
Yeah.
And as a gay man, he's just basically saying enough.
Yeah.
Enough's enough.
And and I questioned the other day. I was like, what is the obsession? Why is it that the powers that be want the sexualization of kids? Why are they pushing this down everybody's throat? No pun intended. Why is it happening, Pat? Like, why do you guys think they're forcing this so much and they're trying to make it like, look at the don't say gay bill and all this stuff? Why such a push?
So this just makes you when you hear, this is the crazy thing about speakers. When I was first getting into sales, I would watch different people speak from stage. And, the first one was so, as a kid, that I was attracted to was the guys that just screamed the entire time.
Yeah.
And they didn't know how to, like, enunciate and, kind of go up, go down, go up, go down. Let me tell you what we're going to do. We're going to take over the world. I'm like, oh, my God, oh, this is so awesome. And then after, like, a few months of listening to him, I'm like, dude, I'm burned out. And then I watched the guy would get up and speak, and then next thing you know, 60 minutes felt like 2 minutes. And you're like, wow, I never saw marriage that way before. I never saw money that way before. I never saw leadership that way before. I never saw relationships that way before. The guy didn't raise his voice. He was just kind of talking to you. And then when he wanted to make one point, maybe we would go elevate and, get excited about it. And like, that was the best speech I heard. This guy didn't raise his voice, stayed at the same level for 2 minutes and 20 seconds or so, and I got the chills all over my body. Mm-hmm. Because when somebody makes an argument in a logical way using reasoning, and tapping into your emotions where you don't feel like a victim, you listen to this guy saying he sounds like a person that doesn't want you to feel sorry for him. He wants to be a leader, and he's given solutions. You just get off and you say, great freaking point, man.
Beautiful.
What are you going to say to a guy like that?
Yeah.
Okay. He didn't do anything but just give his argument to us, and we heard him out. Okay. We need more people like this to make their arguments. A guy like this, I don't know who this guy is. I've never met him. Frank Rodriguez. Some of you guys are asking about me sharing the video. I'm about to tweet it out so you can go out there and see it and learn more about him. They're trying to fight against the system that's trying to groom kids. And if that's really who he is, if this is not a spoof, if this is not trolling, if this isn't anything, he feels very sincere. People like this are going to make a very big impact the next 5, 10, 15 years. What is this here that you're talking about? Gays Against Groomers, a coalition of gay people who oppose the recent trend of indoctrinating, sexualizing, and medicalizing children under the age of under the guise of LGBTQ. Our community that once, can you zoom in a little bit more so I can read it? Our community that once preached love and acceptance of others has now been hijacked by radical activists who are now pushing extreme concepts onto society, specifically targeting children in recent years. The overwhelming majority of gay people are against what the community has transformed into, and we do not accept the political movement pushing their agenda in our home. Gays Against Groomers directly opposes the sexualization and indoctrination of children. This includes drag queens, story hours, drag shows involving children, the transitioning and and medicalization of minors, and gender theory being taught in classrooms. The activists backed by schools, government, woke media, and corporations have been speaking on our behalf for too long. When fighting for equality, our goal was to successfully integrate ourselves into society, but now these radicals aim to restructure it entirely in order to accommodate a fringe minority, as well as seek to indoctrinate children into their ideology. We're saying no. Go ahead.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty
Dude,
powerful. Right?
Well, it just shows that you can't just paint the LGBTQ community with a broad stroke with a large paintbrush. It's the radical people. What does it say at the very beginning? Radical activists are hijacking the LGBTQ movement to indoctrinate and radicalize young kids. To your point, stay away from the kids. It's so refreshing to see that there's grown-up LGBTQ community. They're like, no, we can be gay and we can get married and we can fight for that. Like you're saying, leave the freaking kids alone.
Yeah.
And I don't understand, I genuinely don't, why they want these young 6, 10, 12-year-old kids.
That's my question.
Learning this stuff.
Yeah, but mind you, Adam, this dude, like this organization, this is the small minority group within that. The majority of the LG, they want the kids and they want to push. It's like, I still question why. What is your obsession with them, bro? Like,
you know what I will
disgusting.
say, though? You know what I will say, though? Here's a part. Just be patient. Reasonable people will lead, okay? Just be patient. Reasonable people who present their arguments in a way where it makes sense, the world has no choice but to sit there and say, damn, this makes sense. Because there's guys that are instigators that jump in, that just want attention and want to seem like they're for the people, but they're not. They're just ass kissers. Like, you know how they say, oh, you're such a teacher's, what was it?
Teacher's pet, brown
You know,
noser.
you're such a teacher. There really is people like that.
Of course.
Okay, there were people that weren't. They were just helping out the teachers, and there really were the people that were the teacher's pet that were brown nosing.
Yes.
Okay, there are a lot of people that are brown nosing different communities to be accepted into whatever. They're getting exposed, and it's a beautiful thing.
By the way, just read that one line. It's Gays Against Groomers. Here's the point. The overwhelming majority of gay people are against what this community has transformed into. And we do not accept the political movement of pushing their agenda in our name.
But here's my question, though. I haven't seen, Rob, have you? I have, these type of groups are new to me. All I've been seeing all over the media is kids in strip clubs, in New York, parents letting kids. It's just, dude, it's just the sexualization and their drag queen reading hour at school. And it's like, what is going on, bro? I don't get
exactly
it.
what Pat
I don't
just
get
said.
it.
Give it time.
Okay.
Let the people with common sense rise above
Present
the
your
crowd.
argument with the data. Present your argument with reason and calling out hypocrisy. And majority of the people will sit there and say, this makes sense. This makes sense. This makes sense. You're in the business of leading, converting, persuading, debating, giving arguments, yet being patient with the right people that are reasonable to say, you know what, Vinny, I kind of see your point. That's what we're doing.
So if you like this clip and you want to watch another one, click right here. And if you want to watch the entire podcast, click right here.